Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the podcast. I'm Michael.
I'm Noah.
And we are the Knights of Entertainment, a podcast covering your favorite and unknown comic books, movies, games, anime, and more weekly. We hope you enjoy the show. This is what we are covering tonight.
We're going to look up, find out where all the Chimpokomon are in the video game, Southpark, The Stick of Truth.
Cool. But before we do, like, subscribe, and follow the channel. You can also find this show on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Odyssey, and more. Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, so Southpark, The Stick of Truth came out like in 2014, I think. And I played the fucking shit out of this game. Like, I've done more in this game than any other game I've ever played. Like, I've played this game. I've beaten it to completion at least 15 times. It's just that good of a game. It's South Park. It's South Park, but a video game. And you get to be in the game. One of the fun things about the game, or the funnest thing, is traveling around and making new friends. Because if you make enough friends, you get an achievement. And so one of them is being more popular than John Lennon, I think. It's been a while. I don't remember the actual achievement. And the one above that is more popular than Jesus. That is if you make friends with every single person in this game.
Oh, good Lord.
One of those friends is the Chimpokomon toy company. In order to make friends with them, you need to collect all 30 Pokemon or Chimpokomon. And they are, some of them are easy to find, and then there's some you can completely miss, and you're just like racking your brain, and you'll never find them again because they're completely missable. So let's start, and I'll tell you where they all are. So let's start with the first one. First one is a penguin. That's pretty much like a penguin without the U. So it's like penguin. You can find this one in Cartman's garage. Very simple. Just go in the garage. I think it's locked, so you have to find the key in Cartman's room or his mom's room. His mom has a lot of dildos in there too. You get the key, and you can open the garage, and the penguin's right there.
Like the horse she is.
Basically. After that's Choo Choo Nazumi. You can find that one in Butter's house. Well, by Butter's house. It's in a tree. You actually see it during the intro of when you meet Butters, but you can interact with it after you get a little projectile attack. You have to shoot it out of the tree. After that, you got a fat dactyl.
Fat dactyl.
It's just like a fat pterodactyl.
Instead of aerodactyl.
Yeah, basically. So you can find this one above the ticket, but this one's kind of hard to miss. Or it's hard to see, actually. Mm-hmm. It's above the ticket booth in the theater by that annoying guy. It's always like, you guys can't see this movie because this movie's rated R. Fuck you. So you can find it there. You can even shoot him too. Just shoot it out of the top and it'll drop back down. The next one is Velociraptor. Velociraptor. Yeah, it's outside. It's in the window outside of Token's house. So it's on the upper left window. The window's open. You can just sit. You can see him. No, I know what you're gonna say. Out of all the characters to get the rap star, it's gonna be the black kid. Yes, I understand. I'm way ahead of you. But yes, Token has that one. So I guess you're basically stealing his toy.
Yeah, just taking it away from him.
All right, after that, this one's missable, so you got to get this one when it's there. It's a Roid Rat. This is probably the coolest one. It's like just a buff fucking rat. Like it is buff. It is like built like a tank. And it's in the attic of the Giggling Donkey. And you can only get to the attic during the mission when you fight the bard. So if you miss it, there's no way to go back. You're stuck. You have to start the game over. And their save system is weird. So you can't like save it before that and then go back. Like it's got like one save and then like two auto saves. And then after that, the earliest auto save will be like way after that. So it's like, well, fuck. Next one is Stigmata, which is a weird one. It's like Stigmata, but it's steg. So it's like a stegosaurus with Stigmata. This one is in Kyle's garage, and you gotta get the key from his parents' room. No dildos in that one.
Kyle's mom?
Apparently not. The parents don't get that freaky.
Well, no, she's just a bitch.
Yeah.
There's a whole song for it.
Next one is Brachiosauri? Yeah, Brachiosauri. It's pretty much like a broccoli. You can find this one outside the Tower of Peace. You got to smash. It's in a lantern. It's actually real easy to miss. Right outside the Tower of Peace, on the right side is a lantern. One of those like big old lights, spotlights. Mm-hmm. You shoot it, the shit drops out. Good to go. The next one is Gunrilla. This one's cool too. It's just a gorilla with a fucking machine gun for a hand. This one's missable. It's in the secret meeting room when they're discussing how to deal with the Nazi zombie problem. And then the Nazi zombie comes out of a fucking cabinet and eats them all or some shit. I can't remember. You got to. It's on top of the cabinet. Next one is Donkeytron. This one's interesting. It's in the school kitchen during the mission where we have the civil war between Kyle and Cartman. You can pick which side you want to go to. Depending on what side you pick, the person over the intercom starts saying horrible shit to you. If it's Cartman, he was like, "Come on, I thought we were buddies. Come on, don't do this." And Kyle's like, "You're making a mistake, new kid." So it's fun to do both of them, just see what they do or what they say. You have to light the stove first on fire and then throw a fart at it and it fucking explodes. And the toy is 100% okay. BeetleBot, another missable one. You get what happens when you go to bed after you have a mission throughout the day with the kids. You go to bed, and weird shit happens to you. Either you get a gnome trying to steal your underpants, you get into a fist fight with them, or you end up getting abducted by aliens. Like they happen on both 2 different nights. I think it's only 2 things that happen: the gnomes and I don't remember a third thing, which would have been cool. But the UFO one is where you first meet the Nazi zombies. And I swear to you, I think they took actual clips, audio clips of Hitler and put it on this zombie. Because it sounds like the way it sounds doesn't sound like it sounds like audio footage of something else.
Like he's reading Mein Kampf?
He's like doing a speech.
That's what I'm saying. Like the actual audio of one of his speeches.
Basically, yeah. So I'm like, this sounds real familiar from History Channel videos I used to watch.
Not like whenever Cartman got all the people to go watch The Passion of the Christ.
No, like that was Cartman being that was completely different sounding. So right before you fight the boss, which is basically he's dressed up like a fucking jet pilot. Like one of those like airline pilots.
Yeah.
That's what they're dressed up. It's an alien, but he's dressed like an airline pilot. Right before you go in there's a bunch of TVs on the right side corner, and it's hiding in one of those in between those TVs. You can get it then. You can't go back. That fucking spaceship crashed into the ground. So you can't go back. By the way, they anal probe the fuck out of you. And you gotta like clench your butt cheeks and break the probe. That's how you escape that mission. Next one's called the Snakat. It's like SNA cat. Snakat. It's kind of hard, like it just doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Yeah.
That one's on the tree outside of City Hall. It's very missable. Just if you're not really paying attention to your surroundings, you're gonna miss a lot of these. The next one is God, it's fetus Swami. It's like a little fetus. Yeah. Now this one can be missed too. Right when you blow up this turret, it's gonna be sitting right next to it. But because you've been fighting all this stuff, you don't even really acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But it's right there. The next one is Mouse Tick. This one's in the girls' clubhouse, which is the girls' bathroom in the park. You have to go into once you meet them in their little lair, that's when you can pick it up. After that, it's a shoe. It's just like a fucking shoe. This one's missable too. You need to use an anal probe to go up to this top of Clyde's tower, and it's sitting up there. I've missed this like 4 times. I looked for this one. This was the one that I couldn't find. Instead of doing like those back in the day where you didn't do like, well, 2014 is not back in the day, but I didn't really do any like YouTube walkthroughs. Mm-hmm. I did all this stuff on my own. I figured it out all on my own, and the shoe was the one that took me forever to find. I'm like, where the fuck is this last one? So there you go. The shoe's on top of like right before you go into the final fight with Clyde and Chef. It's up there. Don't go in the building. Don't go into the fucking room though. It'll do a cutscene. You can never go back. Next one is Farrah Snarf. Farrah Snarf. This one's in Mr. Hankey's storage unit. He has a terrible hoarding problem, and you can see it when you go to his fucking storage unit. It is fucking packed with just garbage, like garbage from like decades ago. Next one is Flowerpotamus. You can find this basically just on the shelf at Skeeter's Bar and Cocktails, just in the bar. It's like, we don't like your kind around here. For some reason, that guy just like said that to everybody.
It doesn't matter what you look like.
Right.
You don't like it.
No, you just don't like you. We don't like your kind around here. This next one's interesting. This one's a Cosmonaut. This one's in a UFO, in Stark's Pond. So you go to the ocean, you use the anal probe. Now you have an able do after you do the anal probe thing, you have an anal probe in your ass the whole time, and it lets you teleport from location to location. Use the anal probe to teleport into the submerged UFO, and it's in there. Next up is Vamporko. He's in the community center. You got to use the anal probe to teleport to the basketball court behind the community center, and it's sitting back there. Next one is Accountant Fish. This one's in the vent of the Southpark Gazette, just like a little newspaper. It's like a random building. There's nothing special about it but that.
Yeah.
You break the vent. You have to snort gnome dust to get miniature. It's I tell you these weird things, and like it's normal in the game, but you're like, you got to snort what to do what? You snort gnome dust to get small, and you can go into the vent.
It's not white powder.
It's something. Like your character goes like, and then fucking shrinks down. Next one is Monkey. This one's in Butter's room. Yeah, Monkey. After that is Roostar. This one's in Professor Chaos's lair, which is you got to get the key in it from Butter's room. Then go to the storage center and find fucking his lair. And like, he'd be like, oh, this place is going to blow up in 5 seconds. And then after the countdown, nothing happens after the countdown. So you just wander around. This one is Rabbit Tech. This one's in the evidence room in the police station, second floor. You got to go up to the second floor of the police station to get it. Easy to get. After that is Lamptron. This one I missed too. It's in the Tower of Peace behind a wall that you can destroy. And then you get up and he's like on a little like perch, like one of those bird little swings. And I've missed it like 4 times as well. And then one time I'm walking through, I'm like, wait, what is that? And I found him by accident. Next one is Biebersaurus. It's Justin Bieber as a dinosaur. This one's in the sewers by the crab people.
The sewer though?
Yeah, you gotta go to the sewers and find it. Next one is Gerbatoad. He's this one. This one was sitting there for like ever, and it was the second playthrough that I saw it. It's sitting in right next to Mr. Hankey's house. You go down to the sewers and meet Mr. Hankey. You know that shit with a Christmas hat on.
Mr. Hankey the Christmas shit.
Yeah, and it's sitting right there next to him. And I thought it was like something like related to him or something.
Yeah,
but it's just a fucking Chimpokomon. Next one is Turbovine. Terry Bovine. And you have to get small again. It's outside the coffee shop of the Tweak Brothers Coffee. It's underneath the bench. You got to get miniatures. You got to snort some more gnome dust. Get tiny, and then you can go underneath the bench and grab it. Gopher Gnome, Gophermon. He's in the last stall of the toilets in the community center. Very easy to find. Next up is Poodlesaurus Rex. This one's in the air duct during is this the second or the first? You have to shoot down the vent. No, it has to be, this is after the abduction because you need the anal probe. You shoot the vent during the Civil War, and then you got to teleport up to the vent, and then it's going to be sitting up in the like fucking rafters or some shit. Mm-hmm. Next up is Pedarkin. I forgot how this one's called. It's P-T-E-R Darkin. Terdarkin, I guess? It's like a gothy, I don't know. This one's actually, I missed this a few times too. It's on the second floor during the Civil War. If you don't go all the way to the right and check the very back of the hallway after you fight these two brothers, so we're bad guys. You fight these two brothers, and after you beat them, if you go left, you end up going to the final phase of this mission where you fight Carbon or Kyle. Mm-hmm. But if you beat them and then you go right, you go all the way back to another hallway, and it's in one of those locker rooms. I never went backwards until my exploration. Like when you first play the first game, when you play a game the first time, you just play it for fun, right, to get the atmosphere, ambiance of it. The progressive playthroughs are the study playthroughs. So after my next playthroughs, I found this one too. And last one is Furry Cat.
Furry Cat.
Yeah, it's just a little green cat, I think. It's right next to Kyle's house. There's a path going upwards. You go to the right of that little path. There's a bunch of little logs. You smash the logs, and it's sitting behind like a tree. Mm-hmm. Very simple. So there you go. That's all the Chimpokomon. If you've had trouble looking for them, you're welcome. I'll probably talk about the classes of The Stick of Truth. There were 4 classes, and they were fucking hilarious.
But you still have okay, and then you have Mr. Hanky stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky was funny because when you meet him in the sewers, right, you find out that he has a wife, which I didn't know because I guess you've seen it in an early episode.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that episode before I saw the game. And Mr. Hanky's like, it's like he's arguing with his wife, right? They're arguing, and then he's like, he turns to you like, will you excuse us a second? They go back in the house like, you fucking bitch, don't you ever do that in front of my friends? I'll fucking. And I'm like, oh shit, he's just fucking cussing her out. And
Why he leaves a shit stain all the way
basically, and then he wants you to go find the rest of his kids. He's got 3 kids you got to go look for. He's like, help me, sir, I'm just a piece of shit. Help me.
You gotta find a little turd.
Yeah, basically, he's all his children. It's fucking hilarious. It's a great game. It's not as good as the Fractured Butthole because that game is deep, but it's close enough.
So you don't have the regression and all that kind of stuff from what's his name, Mr. Mackey, where he brings out all the kids with different labels on their shirts.
No.
Where it's like, come on, regrets. Come on, we're gonna.
Oh, that guy. No, he hasn't got. He wasn't.
Come on, depression.
He wasn't that integral to the plot in that one. Like for Randy, he showed you like the final level of fart foo or some shit. Like you have superpowers to fart. Like, my God, that fart's incredible. Hell, in the Fractured Butthole, your parts are so powerful you can travel back in time.
It's true.
I'm like, Jesus.
Although one of the funniest parts about the Fractured Butthole is the Satan critters.
When you fight them?
Like the Christmas critters?
Let me tell you, when I first fought them the first time, right? In my newbie phase, they fucking tore me apart. I was like, I could not, even with Santa Claus's help, I could not figure out what to do. Because they were just like in that perfect spot and I couldn't keep him healed. Like Santa Claus was getting knocked out. I was like, fuck, this is strategically advantageous to myself.
The point of, you got to pray to Jesus. Pray harder. And then you get
Santa Claus instead, and all his reindeer are dead. And I was like, oh my God. Fucking pulls out a baseball bat. Oh, here we go.
Who the fuck called Santa down from the sky?
It's funny, like first playing that game, all these missions were like progressively more difficult.
Yeah.
On the Fractured Butthole, and then like with my skill getting better and better, I can play that game on the hardest difficulty with very little actual difficulty. Like, man, you just got to get good. If you can beat Morgan Freeman, the hardest boss of that game, on mastermind difficulty, then you're good.
Morgan Freeman, though.
Morgan, I'm about to beat your ass, new kid. Get another freckle from stomping the shit out of you, new kid. You don't want this fight with me, new kid. Walk away. I think he gives you like one chance to walk away when you hit him. So when you hit him twice, he's like, all right, new kid, you asked for it. He's so powerful. He can fart his younger self to help him aid him in battle. So now you got to fight a young Morgan Freeman. I'm Morgan Freeman as a child, new kid.
Oh, those are wonderful games, though.
They're too good. I'm gonna play them tonight, actually. The Stick of Truth and the classes. There was only 4, but man, they are Here's. Okay, let me show you. I'll tell you. Warrior, thief, mage, Jew. That's the 4th one.
Jew.
And let me be honest, that's the class I picked because he had a fucking phenomenal attack that was, to me, OP. And it was called the Sling of David. All he would do was you'd put a rock into a fucking sock, you spun it around, and you fucking flung it at someone's face. And if you leveled it up to the final phase 4 of it, it would ricochet and hit another opponent. So it was the best for fighting Nazi zombies, because Nazi zombies, when you knock them down, they can regenerate and get right back up. But if you knock them down while they're down, they retreat. That was the only way to fully beat them. Yeah. So if I knock one down, I'd have to waste another turn
but they put that in there because they knew people would exploit that. So it's a Jew fighting against the Nazis.
Hey man, and we did really well.
It worked well.
Because I didn't have to waste. I only had to use one move, and I could just hit the guy that was down, and then would hit the guy that was still standing, and just fucking. Oh, by the way, that was also Nazi zombie cats. If I had to say the most powerful villain or enemy in that game, don't fight. You have to be very careful with the Nazi on the UFO. That's the first Nazi zombie you run into, because he has this fucking attack that he buffers. He has this ability that buffers him, right? Like a fucking metapod. And he just keeps like, and like you start doing like minuscule damage. He's got like 300 something health. You start, instead of doing like 50, 60, you start doing 1, 2, 3 damage. And the fight goes on for fucking ever if you're not careful. This motherfucker somehow buffered himself. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I think I was healing. I thought like, let me heal myself, because my last fight I got beat up. I can't remember. I don't know if damage carries over to the next fight encounter. So I could be wrong. But I was doing something, and he fucking shielded up like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, man, I was doing 3 damage every hit, as hard as I could hit him. So believe me, when you fight that, here, just fucking light him on fire. Nazi zombies have a weakness to fire.
Just light them up.
Basically, yeah, you do twice the damage. You do fire damage plus the blunt physical damage you do with your weapon. And always use the fucking strong attack. Don't use that double A attack. It's stupid. Use the one hit. Like they do this thing like, oh, you can do 3 hits with like a standard attack, right?
Yeah.
Or do 1 heavy hit. Always do the heavy hit. Always do the heavy hit unless it's a Nazi zombie that you need to, because you know the first hit will knock him down. The second hit will be able to, well, no, you can just heavy hit him, and you hit him so hard he fucking runs away. And protect yourself from bleed damage, because believe me, you take enough bleed damage, right? You get like cut like, and it stacks, like you get bled, and then you get like ×4, and then on your next one you fucking die. Like half your health, it's gone and you're dead.
You've definitely played enough of it to know this.
Yeah. Always use Butters. Unless you go to Canada, then you need Cartman. His attacks have a tremendous AoE effect. Like he's got these fire fart attacks that can wash away the whole enemies. I always say Cartman to Canada with me. He hates Canada.
That and hippie?
Yeah, he hates hippies too, and homeless people.
It's funny because as much as they put into South Park of him hating Kyle because he's a Jew,
right?
And he's done some horrible things to the Jews.
Yeah,
he still hates hippies more.
Like, I can't say hippies, goddamn.
Like he can be around Kyle, he cannot be around a hippie at all.
He is mad. Oh yeah, by the way, his health is horrendous. So don't expect him to tank 2 hits. He can barely take 2 or 3.
Like in the show, you hit him once and he cries.
Yeah, he can't handle. He can't take. I don't think anything could take a lot of hits.
Yeah,
I know that the worst companion is probably Jimmy. Aside from his fucking brown note attack,
yeah,
which he has made me shit one time in our boss fight. He doesn't really have a lot of. I don't know. Maybe I don't use him right, but he's terrible.
Are you saying this because he's handicapped?
No, I'm saying because he's fucking terrible.
Why they tell stupid jokes the entire time?
If he wasn't, handicap has nothing to do with it. He is just horrendous to play with.
What about Timmy?
Timmy's not on there.
I'm just saying, if you had to choose between Jimmy or Timmy.
It depends. Timmy doesn't have any abilities in the game, so I can't really.
They made him the Professor X equivalent in Butthole.
Well, that's in Butthole. He was like nothing in this other one. I don't even know if he's in the game. Yeah, well, yes, he is. He's the fast travel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, come on, get on this horse. He is in the game. Never mind. When you first meet him, right? Like in the distance, like you hear like horses hauling ass, right?
Yeah.
And then it comes up and it's just like Jimmy with like a horse picture on the side of his wheelchair. He's like, Timmy.
That's one of the funniest things.
Anyway, I'll probably get into this game a lot more, so buckle up.
Cool.
But for next week, we're going to do Blue Mountain State.
All right. Anything else to add before we go?
Be careful what doors you open. You might watch a guy fucking a horse.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.